Hello dear students, welcome back once again to Kamala Online Learning. We are back again with another informative video lesson from your schedule. Please be completely attentive during the teaching. Keep your textbook and also a rough book with you. Note down important points and difficult or new words as we go. This video lesson will begin with an overview which will give you an idea about the contents of the lesson. It will be followed by learning objectives. Please note down the learning objectives in your notes and try to answer them at the end of the session. If you have any doubts, rewatch the video and refer to your textbook and study material. In case you need further clarification, please mail your doubts to kamalaonlinelearning@gmail.com. This video is recorded with simple, easy to understand language and eye-catching graphics. We hope it helps you to understand the concepts better. So, let's get started.
Collect the salt samples like sodium chloride, sodium carbonate, aluminium chloride, copper sulfate, sodium carbonate and ammonium chloride. Dissolve them in purified water individually. Check the action of these solutions with litmus papers. Dip the pH paper in these solutions. Observe color and find the pH value of the solution using pH paper. Classify them into acidic, basic or neutral salts. The color of the pH paper changes into either red or blue. Salts of a strong acid and a strong base are neutral and their pH value is 7. The salts of a strong acid and weak base are acidic and the pH value is less than 7. The salts of a strong base and weak acid are basic in nature and the pH value is more than 7. Let us learn about the chemicals from common salt. Let us learn about the chemicals from common salt. We learned that salts are produced by the neutralization of acid with base. These are the ionic compounds and are electrically neutral. Generally, seawater is a complex mixture of 96.5% water, 2.5% salts. Note: salt is a symbol of freedom struggle because Salt Satyagraha was an act of civil disobedience led by Mohandas Gandhi, 1869 to 1948, to protest against the British salt tax in colonial India. Among all the varieties of salts available, sodium chloride, also known as table salt or common salt, is the most commonly used. Sodium chloride is used for enhancing the taste of food. It is available in very high quantity and it is separated among all the salts present in the seawater in dissolved state. Salts are present not only in dissolved state but also in solid state in several parts of the world. Due to the presence of impurities, these deposits of large salt crystals are brown in color and these are called rock salt. Beds of rock salt were formed due to the evaporation of seas of bygone. Rock salt is a mine-like coal. The common salt is an important raw material for various materials of daily use, such as sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, baking soda, washing soda, and many more. Click each tab to learn more. Removing water or crystallization. Click each tab to learn more. Take a dry test tube. Add few crystals of copper sulfate in the test tube. Heat the test tube. Observe the changes in test tube while heating. Cool the test tube. Add 2 or 3 drops of water into the obtained solution in the test tube. Observe the changes in it. When the crystals are heated, the color of copper sulfate crystals change from blue to white, and also water droplets appear on the walls of the test tube. While adding water droplets, the obtained solution changes its color from white to blue. Copper sulfate crystals contain water of crystallization. It is the number of water molecules present in one formula unit of salt. When heated, water present in crystals is evaporated and the salt turns white. Chemical formula for hydrated copper sulfate is CuSO4 5H2O. In copper sulfate, the water of crystallization is 5. Let us learn more about the water of crystallization in plaster of Paris. Chemically, the plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate with half a molecule of water. Physically, calcium sulfate crystallizes from its aqueous solution as calcium dihydrate sulfate to form gypsum. At 373 Kelvin temperature, gypsum partially loses its water molecules to become calcium sulfate hemihydrate, CaSO4 half H2O, which is the chemical formula of plaster of Paris. When the white powder of plaster of Paris is mixed with water, it forms a hard solid mass of gypsum back. When the temperature is above 373 Kelvin, gypsum forms an anhydrous calcium sulfide called dead burnt plaster. Let us learn the uses of plaster of Paris. The plaster of Paris is used in making smooth surfaces in constructions, making statues, making toys, making materials for decoration, and for setting fractured bones. About the acidic salts, basic salts, and neutral salts. The following tables shows the use of acids, bases, and salts. Summary. Let us recap the highlights of this chapter. Acids are sour to taste, whereas bases are bitter, soapy to touch. Litmus paper is coated with red and blue. Litmus solution is a purple dye, which is extracted from lichen, a plant belonging to the division Thallophyta. Litmus is used as indicator to determine the acidic or alkaline nature of substance. Acidic or basic nature of a substance can be known from the color of the indicators. Olfactory indicators are those indicators that are useful to make out whether the given solution is acidic or basic by changing their smell in spite of color as their indicators do. The hydrogen gas is evolved when acid reacts with metal. The reaction of metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates with acids gives a corresponding salt, carbon dioxide, and water. The reaction of an acid with base produces a salt and water known as neutralization reaction. The current flows in the solutions of hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, but do not flow in the glucose and alcohol solutions. The acids produce ions only in aqueous solutions. Bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Universal indicator can also be used to know the strength of acid or base. In a solution, a scale is used for measuring hydrogen ion concentration, called pH scale. Living organisms can survive only in a narrow range of pH change. Antacids neutralize the excess acid. The common salt is an important raw material for various materials of daily use, such as sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder, and many more. Sodium hydroxide is the most important alkali and is also called caustic soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3, is the chemical name of the baking soda. Sodium carbonate is the chemical name of the washing soda, and its formula is Na2CO3 10H2O. Sodium carbonate. Keywords. List of keywords are given on screen. Read the questions and attempt the answers on your own. You can click Answer for your reference. Drawing skills. Draw an image of the experiment common elements in all bases and acids. An image of the experiment reaction of carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates with acids. Which gas is fully liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? How will you presence of this gas? What will happen if the pH value in our body increases? Collect the information and reasons for calling calcium sulfate hemihydrates as plaster of Paris. Evaluation. Test your understanding of the lesson by taking the mock unit test. You have successfully completed the chapter Acids, Bases and Salts.